This headset took my expectations and exceeded and surprised me on multiple occasions and multiple scenarios. These take the basics and runs with them and refines them. There's no frills. However, they have two gimmicks that make them a bit more than basics. So let's just dive into it. So my box came in a bit broken, but inside that box feels quite premium. Inside that box, you get your headset, a removable 3.5mm jack, second pair of sports cloth material ear cups, the USB remote and sound card wire extender, detachable microphone, and a thin nylon type carrying bag, which is a nice addition. I don't see it being very protective at all. It is super thin. I don't even think it'll be able to protect from scratches. However, I am going to be using it, and I'm going to be using it to store wires, so bonus in my opinion. These have the signature HyperX style, however refined and brought to a more premium standing. I think that what they did here is really good. I think it's a really big step up from what they've done prior. They have been currently priced at $90. They were originally $130, but for the last 3 months now, they have been at $90 on Amazon. So honestly, right now, it's at a good price. They're built incredibly well. They feel extremely high quality. The metal forks feel extremely strong. They changed the design a little bit to have like the little holes and stuff, and I feel like it really gives it a good look with the brushed blue aluminum. And the headband is wrapped in pleather with blue stitching. The HyperX logo is stamped in the top, but you only get a little bit of cushion underneath your headband. Each ear cup has a base toggle on it, which is another thing we'll talk about later on in the specs section. However, the adjustment mechanism for each ear cup sucks. It is so loose, it moves if you even freaking sneeze at it. I really don't like this mechanism. I really think that they could have done a better job here. They come in the box with the pleather ear cups, and they are very, very deep. And they also have foam inside, whereas the cloth ones do not have foam inside them, but they are incredibly deep. However, the wire that it comes with is extremely thick and unwieldy. It doesn't like to bend, it doesn't like to move, it likes to stay straight, and it has a lot of cable noise. Like, you brush it and you can hear every bit of cable noise, and then when you add the attachment, it gets annoyingly long, and the controller is so far down, it just feels cumbersome. I think what they're trying to do is so it can reach the back of a PC. The quality of the controller is really, really nice. It is a really good feeling controller, and it's got a nice clip, unlike the Cloud 2s where I felt the clip was very loose. But overall, the build quality here is absolutely superb. I really think that it really meets the quality standards of a $130 headset, and like I said, they're $90 right now, so that's even better. But I'm sure the price will go back up eventually. Comfort is a tough one here. The comfort is complicated because they can be incredibly comfortable, but then they are also incredibly uncomfortable. Let me explain. So you have to put in a lot of effort to move them around to get them in a very specific comfortable position. When they're not in a good position, I get a pressure right here in my cheekbone, and then when I try pushing them too far back, they pinch on the jawline. And then if I push them too low, they pinch the top of my ears. And if I push them too far up, they're pushing the earlobes up. I literally have to get them perfectly maneuvered. But when they are in that position, they are extremely comfortable. I could wear them for hours. They're so deep that my ear does not touch the driver. The foam is there if it were to touch the driver. And then if you use the cloth ear cups, it's very airy. Like, you don't feel much clamping force at all. So if you don't mind the cloth ones, you can avoid everything I just said by using the cloth ones. But the clamping force is really tough with the pleather ear cups, and it's very hard to get them in the right position. So comfort wise, they're my second most comfortable pair of headset. So let's jump into specs. These are very interesting. They're rocking a 50mm neodymium dual chamber driver to separate the three frequencies, the bass, the mids, and the highs. And they have a frequency response of 10 Hz to 23 kHz and 7.1 virtual surround. A hardware bass adjustment slider to which actually works. So if you're on console and you want more bass or less bass, you can turn it up and turn it down using the switch on each ear cup. It is impressive how well it works. You have a detachable bi-directional microphone to which I can't find the frequency response pattern anywhere. I dug and dug and dug. So if you know the answer to that, throw it down in the comments. I'd really appreciate that. They are supported by the HyperX Ingenuity software, and they do have mic monitoring, aka side tone, but you have to use the app for it to work. I couldn't get it to work without the app, but that's the only thing you need the software for. The rest of it can all be done with the controller. The USB 2.0 controller can change the volume, mute your mic, balance your game sound in your chat, and turn on the 7.1 surround. So you have all the control you need with the controller. You just can't change the side tone. So let's just jump into that mysterious mic now. So this is what the HyperX Cloud Alpha S sounds like. If you are enjoying this video, definitely slap a like on it. It helps out a ton, pushes out in the algorithm, and I just appreciate it. And if you like content like this, definitely subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And also, if you're interested in anything we talk about in this video today, I do have Amazon affiliate links down below. Just know I do get a kickback, but it does help me support this channel. So I do appreciate it if you do use those links. Back to the video. And that's how they sound. I think the microphone's passable. I don't think it's perfect and I don't think it's great, but I think it's good enough. So I'm going to start out this section by saying the sound is good even over 3.5 on console. I use them on PS4 if you're wondering, and honestly the USB sound is better, but not by a whole lot. There is a noticeable difference, but it's not huge. It's one of those very rare scenarios where even on console it sounds almost as good as at its best. I use these with the bass slider in the middle because I felt like when it was all the way down it wasn't enough bass, and all the way up it was too much bass, so I left it in the middle, kept it very neutral. They have a really wide soundstage, like the widest I have in all of my headsets. This is the widest soundstage I have experienced with a closed back headset. I consider these to be like a low neutral sound. They're very balanced with a little bit of extra low end, but like I said, you can take a little bit of that out. It's not a lot of bass, it's a lot of low mids. The mid range is kind of punchy. It's very well represented, not scooped out, not flattened out. It's very well represented. Footsteps are extremely emphasized in a good way, because in competitive play you can hear them footsteps perfectly. Like, they really nailed the frequency of footsteps. The high end is not harsh, it's not sibilant, it's not piercing, it's not fatiguing. It's very clear, clean, and smooth. Very well done. Not overdone, not underdone. These are incredible for story-based games like Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Scenes with wind blowing and rain falling, hearing every detail in that scene is incredible. It literally sounds like wind is hitting your ears. The sound of swinging through New York, or your horse feet on the grass. It is so immersive. Some headsets have a hard time with water, and it can sometimes sound like static or like crunchiness. These actually sound like waves and water going down the river, or a waterfall hitting the ground, or rain hitting the ground. It can sometimes sound like static, and it doesn't. It sounds like water. The directional audio is extremely well done. A lot of headsets have trouble with behind you, above you, and below you. Now, I'm not going to say these perfect above and below, but I do think that they do a good job at representing above and below, and you can definitely hear behind. In competitive games, I really did feel like I was extremely competitive and able to really pinpoint my enemy. Games where, you know, you're hearing people talk behind you, or you're, you know, going through a city and everybody's talking, you can hear people passing by you. The directional audio is really good. There is one downside to this headset. The 7.1 surround sucks. It literally sounds like you're putting two cans between you and the headphones. It sounded terrible. It sounded tinny. It sounded overdone, and it was the worst 7.1 surround I have heard on a headset yet. But everything changes when you put on the cloth ear cups. You lose all the bass. I did not like the cloth ear cups, no matter how comfortable they were. They just did not have a good enough seal. They couldn't keep sound out. There was no isolation. They just did not sound good. Considering these basically function like a Bear Dynamic or any other studio headphone rather than like a gaming headset, these do an excellent job with videos and music. There is a bit of extra low end, but honestly the instrument separation is above average. Like, you can hear all the different layers when you're listening to like really complex music. These did a really good job with hip hop and pop. The metal is a close second. Like, I was listening to Slipknot, which has 9 members, and you can actually hear each individual drummer. There's 3 drummers, 2 guitars, a singer, a DJ, and you can hear all of those layers. If I only had these for my headset, I'd be perfectly happy. These are an incredible buy, especially at $80 mark. They have been sitting at that for a long time now, and they have excellent build quality, no frills software, and a mid-forward neutral sound with an incredible soundstage and directional audio for competitive play. But I think these shine brightest when playing single-player immersive titles. But if you want 80% of the performance and even less of the price, check out my review of the HyperX Cloud 2s right here. And if you're interested in anything we talked about in this video, and you can use my affiliate links down below, I do get a kickback, just so you know. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, thank you, hit that like button, and I'll see you again next time. Have a good one.